In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
All right, guys, welcome, fair listeners, to another Pointless Automotive Podcast, APA Podcast for short. Frank, how are we doing tonight?
Oh my goodness. I'm doing quite well, sir. It just started raining. That's a thing.
Oh, nice.
Are you I know you're from the great white frozen
So many
northeaster.
ways.
Yes. Mostly the band Great White.
Mm.
And they're the ones that like their pyrotechnics crew killed all those people. Was that a thing? Was that not Great White?
It happens. I think you're right. I think I do remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah. Murder aside, are you get down with the rain? Are you a rain guy or are you a sun guy?
I'm a weather guy, so I'm from a place where it's winter half the year. So I do like weather. Rain doesn't get me down. I like lightning storms. I don't like just rain per se, but yeah, I like weather for sure. Low pressure systems feel good on the old joints and everything. So I get
Okay,
down.
you're wrong, but that's fine. Um,
It makes me feel good.
good. That's wonderful. What else is there anything? What about as far as other things that potentially make you feel good or make me feel good? You know what makes me feel good? The peaceful peaceful collaboration between great nations on this planet Earth.
Yes, a bunch of nations united, I think, is what you're referencing.
Yes, exactly. Nations United, United Nations, if you will. And and nowadays the way they do that, outside of memes, because memes are the new peacekeeper. It used to be the proliferation of nuclear weapons, and this ever looming threat of a nuclear holocaust. No, that has been supplanted by memes.
Right.
But where a lot of that has been, traditionally, where they share memes, these great nations, is in the United Nations, and each independent nation that is has a representative, in the United meme sharing United Nations. They will have some sort of a representative, a delegate, if you will.
That's what I was thinking for this episode, my friend. I
Tell me
thought,
more.
like, so we're automotive adjacent in the sense that we do talk about cars a lot on this podcast. But we thought, I thought, and Frank said, fuck it, we don't have any other better ideas.
That's true.
Is that we choose delegates from each automaker to be representative of that make, of that brand in the UN of automotive goodness. So I figured this would be kind of a fun exercise, but we have to support our answers. So we can't just say like Honda, Civic, because Civic. You have to give a reason why you think it represents the brand and give it a little personality too. What would the personality of that delegate be?
Yeah, that's good. This is going to be profoundly stupid.
Yes,
and I'm for it. I am here for it. I think it's going to be nonsense, which we're good at trafficking. This is pointless.
So good at it.
After all,
Absolutely
it's in the name.
Pointless. It's a fair advertisement, but let me start off. We're going to keep it domestic. At least I started off domestic. We can go over the place. Perfect example. Dodge. I think nothing epitomizes, like maybe not in the next few years, but right now, Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. I think that's going to be the delegate for the Dodge brand. We're talking about sideshows in the middle of the assembly. We're talking about just burning that sweet, sweet rubber. Takes no shit, chewing tobacco the entire meeting. Dodge Challenger. I think Challenger represents Dodge very well.
I think that's good. I'm going to go in a slightly different direction. If I was going to pick the delegate from the great nation of Mopar, specifically Dodge, would be. So think about this. It's a great American brand. And what is more America than very old politicians
Okay.
being involved here, right? Like the current Challenger, like a Challenger Hellcat, it's been around a while. It's not a young
it's
buck,
an old modern car.
yeah. So it's not like, it's an old soul, but still kind of a young buck, so to speak.
Fair.
I want the old falling apart, the Mitch McConnell, if you will, the Nancy Pelosi, the they should have retired a long time ago, and for some reason they're still doing their thing, and that's going to be I'm going like 60, let's say 69 Charger,
Yeah.
RT, SE. I'm gonna go 440.
Good
It's
motor.
more.
Good
It's
motor.
yeah. The Hemi's good and all, and Hemi's got Hemi's like the Hemi would be like the celebrity that
Yeah.
would be like Ronald Reagan. There was an actor and then they became a politician. I want like the more of the people, right? So give me the 440, 440, not even 6-pack, 440 Commando, 4-speed in. Let's go. Was it F5 was the green that they had? It was like that dark, like that ivy green with the ivy green interior.
So good.
Rally wheels. That's going to be my Dodge. The old probably should have retired. Isn't nearly as sharp as the young bucks now. Not as reliable. Misses a lot of time. Isn't always doing his delegation stuff because he's kind of cantankerous. That's American politics. That's American. That's Dodge. That's what it needs to be.
I love that choice. I think you lost the entire Mopar collective when you likened Nancy Pelosi to a classic Mopar. I think you just
what I'm getting at is should have been put out to pasture a very long time.
Okay. Now you got him back. Executing a public figure. But,
hey, welcome to the podcast. It ended up on a list, but you know what I mean.
Good save, my friend. Okay, Ford. I don't see how you do this any other way than an F-150. I think you go with what Ford's bread and butter has been for so goddamn long. The F-Series pickups, F-150. You can just put a mid-90s one up there, early 2000. I don't care, whatever one you pick. It's going to be a representative of that brand. It's going to be a huge market leader. Ford F-150, and it's going to be shoot straight from the. It's going to shoot straight. It's going to tell you how it is. And you better stay off its goddamn lawn.
It'll be the LBJ of the of politics. No, but like I think you're on it.
It's got to be right.
So two things. For me, I would narrow it down if I was going to go Ford F-150, probably to the either just an F-150 regular cab short bed 4x4.
Yep, that's fair.
With like just the standard V8, nothing, maybe Fleet White. I think that works. Or you go like the tuna no crust Lightning.
So good. You stay away from the 5.4 Triton.
Yeah. But I really enjoy what you're putting down there as far as the delegate. I don't think I think I'm gonna pick a different delegate though.
Get the fuck out.
It's gotta be this. It's gotta be the Mustang. It's gotta be Ford Mustang, and I think I'm gonna go GT350. It's got the Shelby name.
Classic.
It's a very, very good, and I mean like the new one. Like
look at you.
The newer Coyote powered one.
The old one's a fair delegate too, but yeah,
I agree. But I'm trying to just not have every American manufacturer put like the elderly and prop them up in some kind of a sick scheme.
What's next, Frank? Is the if you pick the classic GT350, would it be the Joe Biden delegate?
No, doesn't he have a
Trans Am Firebird, right?
No, there's the Photoshop of him like watching it shirtless.
That's the funny meme, right?
That's the funny meme. But no, I think he actually has like a 65 Corvette or something like that.
That tracks.
Like a 327 4-speed. But no, I'm saying it's like the newer one.
Okay.
Coyote GT350. Might as well go R, right?
Flat crane, crank that motherfucker.
Yeah. It's got the Mustang name. It's got the Shelby name. It's very, very it's very Murica, but it's still new and hot and fresh, and won't fall asleep at the wheel. All the like the Biden edition or whatever you're saying. It's going to be it'll be a good fresh young faced, chomping at the bit American steward in this Ford nation.
I like that. Now, what if we were to do something like, I don't know. I feel like Chevy, we're both going to say Corvette. I
I
kind of
think it
feel like
has to
that's
be.
the right answer.
I think. What generation though? What generation would be your delegation sensation
Boy, I like the
to really
C4.
represent?
I like the C4 because the 80s, I think the 80s is the America in the 80s. We didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We're tough as shit. Mini recessions. Corvette, I think that's the I don't know. C4. Let's go C4 on that
I
answer.
think I'm gonna go.
Or are you going to go C3 or C2?
I would like to go C2, but I think I'm gonna go C7
I like the
because
C7 a lot, man. I
the
like
C7, it's the last front engine Corvette.
Mhm.
It's the last Corvette you can get a manual in. They're pussycats to drive. They're just very good. And they're very easy.
Very capable
They're
out of the box.
they're very capable.
Yeah.
They're pretty like even keel. Like they're not. It's very clear like since the 80s that they had been spending a big chunk of time continuing to develop a front engined Corvette, and that was the final iteration of it. And so, yeah, to represent that, and then ultimately the great nation that is Chevrolet, which is French or Canadian or French Canadian.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, I'm going C7.
Okay.
Corvette, maybe Z06. I don't care.
Yeah, I like C4 because it's the delegate that has a white T-shirt on with the pack of cigs rolled up in it, and it's just
Yeah,
I like that attitude. I think that's what we need in the UN. So
listening to Great White, maybe.
should we go to Europe real quick?
Oh yeah, let's travel around the world.
Let's go. Let's see what you say first for this one. BMW. Who's your delegate?
Oh boy, my
Personality. Why?
delegate
Yeah.
for this is a very very difficult, and I think it's
really
very
tough.
difficult because BMW in the 80s and 90s is very different than the BMW of the 60s and 70s, and it's very very different than the BMW of today.
God, who's
And
the
then the
worst?
2000s is like in between the
Yeah, but
two.
out of that group, who's the worst? You got to say modern BMW.
Prob
I know.
Probably, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's me being a little bit too like get off my lawn, because
I
like
just it
60s
doesn't do it.
60s is cool, but like
60s is very cool, man.
here, I think if I'm gonna pick a delegate,
Mhm. Let's hear it.
you know what I got to go with? I'm gonna go with a true solid in a windstorm stately politician here,
Okay.
and I'm going to go with E38 7 Series.
Mm.
Let's go with I would normally say the shorty sporty, right? The 740i short wheelbase, but I'm gonna go. I want to go 750 IL, the V12, the real soak up Autobahn miles, real stately, long wheelbase, sturdy. Give me an E38 750 IL.
You
That's going to be my delegate.
You get bonus points, sir, because you picked a car probably driven by a UN delegate in this world
Yeah.
at one point. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Or driven in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And especially in the IL. I don't know, man. I gotta go E46 M3 because for me, it's got timeless beauty. I think I still see, and like they looked great when they came out. They still look great today. I think the inline six is what should always be in an M3. I don't think it needs like turbocharging, supercharging. The way that thing revved out, I know it's not modern car fast. It's still pretty damn quick. The dynamics were good. It had some fatal flaws, but I'm a huge fan. It had a great color palette. You could get some beautiful colors. I had an Imola red one. I like, obviously Laguna Seca blue is stunning. There's that yellow. It came in the honey mustard yellow, I like to call it. But I think it's a good looking car. I think the interior still looks nice because the E36 was rough. The ones after that, I thought BMW lost their interior personalities. So I kind of think the E46 delegate would be that middle-aged man, still in shape, in a nice suit, still all business, still can hang, still can have fun, but is a pretty serious sports car. So E46 is the delegate for BMW M3.
I'm good with that. I thought about E36 actually.
I did too, but I just
They're just a little they're athletic.
ish. Yeah.
And they've aged well. I mean, not literally, because the interiors eat themselves,
Yeah.
but the styling is aged well.
Yep.
And it harkens back to that nation's prime. But as does the E46, that era, that early 2000s era of BMW, even like just call it 2001,
Yeah.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
is E39 would be an excellent candidate.
Right there, the same styling cues and everything. I love the gauge cluster on the E46. The gray kind of dial faces looks timeless to me. I don't know. The interior is just that much better than an E36.
Absolutely,
it's so solid.
It's a much
yeah
better interior.
For me, that wins it. And the exterior does look good. It's not as like retro looking, but I think it just walks that line.
The car will always look good.
Yeah, between retro and modernish, but it just always looks good. Every time I see one E46, like a well kept one, not one slammed on shitty wheels, but like a well kept stock example. God, they look good. So that's what I'm saying. Middle aged man, nice fitting suit, E46 M3 baby.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I can fire a manufacturer out there. Do I want to stay in Europe? I think I do.
Ooh.
Good old Swedes, the Volvo. If you got to choose a delegate to represent the great nation of Volvo, who you picking? Who you running with?
This is
running and gunning.
So on my notes, I actually made a note, but I'm kind of questioning myself. It's going to be an estate. It's going to be a wagon.
Yeah,
got to be, in my opinion. So I'm torn between Frank, a classic 240 wagon, or an 850R wagon.
Okay,
they both have that good wagony goodness. The 850 adds a bit more spice, which is cool to see coming from the Swedes.
No love for the V70 V70R.
A little too modern, those guys. The early one was cool. Only automatics here in the States.
Flash green.
Yeah, I know.
Atacama.
Atacama interior that lasted 5 years if you didn't take care of it. Those things just cracked in the center. It's a nightmare. But I gotta go. Let's just do it. Let's do 850R. I think that's a special wagon. I think it still looks old, but it has that it's kind of like the E46 in a lot of ways, because it has a lot of retro styling cues, but it also is kind of a modern-y looking car if you look at it in a lot of angles, and the safety's there, good performance. And I just think the Swedes are represented by a Volvo wagon. I feel like that makes sense to me. How about you, man? What are you doing for the folks from Trollhättan? No, that's Saab. Sorry, the other Swede. The Trollhättan plant.
It's is it Gothenburg?
I think for Volvo,
is that Volvo's Gothenburg? Boy, I kind of want. You see, I kind of want to go P1800 ES.
Oh, those are pretty. Yeah, those are cool.
You know, I actually prefer those in the coupe, and I think I'm probably the minority there.
I like the bubble on that bad boy. Like
I know that back. That's like
so cool.
The C30 emulated it later
in
the ES. So that's why I think I have to pick the ES, because it's the better representative. The only problem is like I don't know that it's the proper delegate. Like it might be my favorite, but I don't know if it's a proper delegate. Like to your point, I think it's got to be more of the wagon.
Boxy wagon.
And the ES is at least a wagon, but it's not boxy. I mean, it was
not at all. Yeah.
I think Pininfarina did the design on that. I don't remember if it was Pininfarina or somebody else. I do think it was Pininfarina. In fact, now I don't think that P stands for.
That wasn't a Giorgio.
No.
Giorgio. No wedge.
No. But I do think that was Pininfarina.
Turbo brick, dude.
So I do think I got to go turbo brick. I do, although I will say I think I would do the 700 series instead of the 200.
Okay,
I
like
think
a 760.
Like 740, 760 GLT turbo manual wagon.
Yeah, that's a good one. God, those seats were so cool looking too.
Yep. And how dare I say, the most iconic headrest in the automotive world.
So
was
cool.
that Volvo, that kind of like half waffle grid headrest.
It reminds me of the old the lawn chairs or sunbathers chairs from the 80s with just like the strips going across.
Yep.
It's kind of what
Similar.
it is.
Similar.
I like that. Good,
So I
good one.
think that's what I'm going. How about what are you thinking? We want to pick a different continent or anything?
Yeah, we could go to the country of Italy if you want to.
Ooh.
I think that'd be kind of fun. And I gotta say it, man. Ferrari. Who are you going with for
More than you can afford, pal.
Except that Super is worth more now, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ferrari.
This is a bit of a tough one.
It's a very tough
I
one.
think because there's so many different ways that you can do it. I think for a long time and for a lot of people, Ferrari means V12.
Yeah.
But I truly think a lot of like some of the absolute greatest icons of Ferrari, past and present, are their V8 sports cars. And so it's hard to pick one. I think if we're talking the delegate, right? Like a representing the head of the heads of that particular state, I'm going to skew V12.
Okay. Makes sense.
And so although you can certainly go a V8 car or shoot V6, right? If you want to go with the new 296 or something, or a Dino. Dino would be a fabulous play. But I think I'm going to say Ferrari F50. Not the F40.
The F50
which is
much
V12 manual. Car, yeah. I mean, they're both pretty outrageous performance cars, very different. Obviously, a small displacement twin turbo V8 versus, and that was, I don't know, they're both very much race car.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to skew. It's a little bit more modern, right? I don't want to go too old and curmudgeon-y. Ferrari F50 and Rosso Corsa.
I like that. Yeah. I see for this one I went Testarossa because iconic. Yeah. And there's always got to be a delegate in the UN doing cocaine during the middle of
that's true. That's a good point. I forgot about wanton drug use.
And it's got to be the Testarossa, right? Like nothing says like mustache, Hawaiian shirt, cocaine,
blow,
dead hooker in the frunk, parts cocaine. Of a dead hooker.
Ketamine abuse, cocaine.
Yeah, and I go with the weirdness. I go with like a yellow Testarossa.
And you know what? You're right. Like thinking about it too. I did not think about the sexual prowess and promiscuity and just open cocaine use that
is the United Nations.
that the politician from Ferrari would be involved in.
Right? It has to be, right? Like that, nothing represents the brand more than that. And I think that's it. This is the one that gets, cocaine. It gets arrested after every meeting while it's trying to get back to its garage, if you will. But yellow Testarossa, just fucking covered in coke. Zero fucks given. That's my delegate. That's covered nothing sums it up more than that. Threatening everybody that looks at it the wrong way too, right? Like you will
also that would be an incredible just debut album name, just covered in coke. Just that's what it exactly sheathed in coke. Okay, no, I like your answer. At first when in Testarossa, I'm like, really? But now that we fleshed it out, like the delegate would in their sketchy hotel room. Every other night at least, he needs his, I don't know, live hard, play hard. Very cool. Okay. Should we jump to Japan?
Okay, Japan.
Japan.
What you got? The little airplane moving in Street Fighter 2. Exactly. Japan. It says
Japan.
Japan.
Brazil. Yes.
US.
USA. Yeah.
Everything's better with Guile's theme too.
Exactly. Sonic Boom. Anyways, this moment was brought to you by Street Fighter 2.
Capcom.
Is Capcom around?
Of course they are.
Still? Like can we get them to be a sponsor? They haven't been bought out by like My Pillow or something.
No, they're still killing it. So Capcom's still very much in the video game.
So how about this? I picked Japan.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick the manufacturer?
Mazda.
Ooh, okay. Oh boy.
This is actually pretty tough. I had to think of this one for a while because I don't know. I think you know where I'm going. You know where my heart is with Mazda.
I know where your heart is, and it's hard for me. It's always the answer, so it's hard for me to pick against Miata.
Yeah.
I'm gonna you'll zig and I'll zag a little bit.
Okay. Whoa. Are you going Cadillac Catera?
No, no, that's zig. It's the caddy that zigs, not the caddy that zags.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That'd be funny if they made a new compact Jag and they called it the Jag that zags.
Oh, God, dude.
Or the Jag that jags. No, you don't want that.
Yeah.
The Jag rag. So, no, I'm thinking
Jag your bag.
Exactly. There, delegates. There should be a certain amount of representation when it comes to delegates going to the automotive, the OEM UN here, and with that, I think representation matters, and the Rotary community, does not see a lot of representation nowadays. There's been some whispers of things and Rotary range extenders and stuff, but if there's going to be one OEM nation that will be representing the good people of Rotary, it's going to be Mazda. So the nation of Mazda needs to bring I'm going to just go with the FD, the RX-7 that everyone loves. And I really enjoy kind of all the RX-7s for different reasons.
Yeah, very different cars, actually. Yeah.
But I think FD RX-7 will be the Rotary, the member of the Rotary community from the great Mazda nation, who will be representing the entire nation of Mazda as the delegate to the OEM UN. How about you? You going Miata?
I gotta go Miata. I gotta go playful, flirty, younger lady member of the UN.
Okay.
Gets topless when the weather gets nice. Because the Miata's got to be playful. I mean, they are cute, but also they can handle themselves quite well. So I think it's really
punchy.
Punchy. What is it? What are the? We should do a whole episode.
Tossable feels inappropriate in this context.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's true, but we should do an episode of like the worst, used car dealer stickers that they throw on the windshield.
Sporty,
like, Peppy is like, what the fuck? It's Peppy. Yeah, Sporty is another one. Sporty, it's got the fizz. I don't know. It's just the weirdest shit they put on the fucking windshields. I mean, but I think Miatas always have that peppy one.
That would be, what would be really fun, and maybe we should, if we ever get around to making merch, we should make ones that say like ballsy or something, and then that way people can go around and just like go to a dealership lot at night and just stick them on windows, and like they probably wouldn't notice for like 3 months and be like, what the hell? Why does that car say handsy?
Yeah,
like, this is weird.
We could totally copy the like style, the template style of like what they use, that whatever font they captured,
like the block letters or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. Like complete shitty,
horny. Just stick it in the window of a car. Yeah, really confuse people.
Miata.
It
is always the answer, like you said. So I'm gonna elect the Miata official from Mazda.
Okay, all right. I think that's good. Got anyone else?
Mitsubishi.
I thought about this one briefly earlier. I have an answer, and I think it's different than yours.
Okay.
I'm specifically, we don't have any like true JDM representation thus far.
That is true. That is very true.
And so my delegate, I want to truly represent Mitsubishi, which has a very significant rally past, racing history, homologation history, but also kind of off-road all-around history. So I'm going to go with a Pajero Evo.
You're going to go.
It's going to be my representative. You've got the race history, you've got the off-road representation, and it's JDM. And so and it's a homologation car. So I'm going Pajero.
Pajero.
Evolution.
Excellent.
Pajero.
That is
Evolution.
That's a great choice, and mine's not too dissimilar in a lot of the qualities you listed. So heart and mind race right to Evo on this one, just because of how iconic those cars were. But I actually, had to keep it real. I think the Galant VR4 would make a wonderful representative because, like you said, iconic rally winner. There is no Evo without the Galant, and just like the Legacy and the Impreza, So without that Galant getting in there with that 4G63 baby, turbo all-wheel drive rally crusher, I think that's it. And the looks of the Galant, it's just the early Evos, I still think they look amazing. I think the Evo 4 and 5 are so fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
But like the 2 and 3 in the first, Lancer Evolution, they don't look as good as the Galant does to me. The Galant's a boxier design. I kind of like it. It kind of reminds me of like Sentra SCR E30 BMW vibes.
It's a little more upmarket too, as far as the street trim car,
Sure.
Or a
Way
lot of
better interior quality. Let's be honest. I mean, obviously the Recaros are nice in the in the Evos, but those Lancers, those original ones had shit in.
Yeah, which is why they use that, right? Because it was lighter and smaller and
smaller chassis, all that good stuff. But I think the Galant's a good representative because it looks cool for what it is. It's dead nuts reliable if maintained. It's high build quality, got a cool iconic story, and that's your delegate should have a story. They should have some qualifications before they get on the UN. Probably not the case in real life, but the Galant VR4,
right, true.
Let's go Galant VR4.
Interesting.
In fucking Belize green, of course.
And the 3000 GT is always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, gotta love that car though.
Gets to be the vice. As a lieutenant, does anyone actually know what a lieutenant governor does?
No, I think it's a fictional title.
Yeah, it's. I think if every single municipality and state eliminated the concept of a lieutenant governor, how much money would be saved annually?
A
lot.
Buck fifty, at least.
Tree fitty.
About tree fitty.
Any other ones you want to jump into?
Toyota. How did we skip Toyota? Okay. What do you got?
Toyota. Boy, this is another one that Toyota's had some ups and downs. Some interesting stuff, some boring stuff. I think I'm gonna go with the tried and true, relatively, because here's the thing. You wanted to represent Toyota, and you wanted to represent the good people of Toyota Nation. So when they celebrate their 4th of July, which is Toyotathon, that they can do so knowing that in the OEM UN, they have a delegate there that is looking after their best interests and representing them as a people or car collection people. I don't, is it like the Cars universe where there's no peoples and there's cars and
it's like
nobody
Animorphs.
knows how they're reproduces? Nobody knows how the factory is just like this weird brothel. I don't know. It's complicated.
I'm assuming a tailpipe goes into a gas cap somewhere.
Ooh, that sounds dangerous and flammable.
Isn't it?
Spicy.
Sometimes you get burnt.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah. It's sometimes there's external combustion if you do it incorrectly or correctly, depending on what your aims are. If you're trying to make more cars or not.
It burns when I combust, doctor.
Exactly. You have
combust these nuts.
You have tinworm.
These nuts, sorry.
So my thought is good old reliable, even keel, inoffensive, beloved by many. Just the current even Toyota 4Runner.
Yeah.
This the current, no, not too many frills, just gets the job done, holds its value.
Yeah.
Car people like them, not car people like them. That's what you want a delegate. And that's kind of Toyota. Sure. That's kind of Toyota in general. So
good political angle for sure. Yeah. That's
you going to Zupra? What are you doing?
No, dude, I'm going the Teddy fucking Roosevelt of Toyota. The fucking
Rough Rider.
The Rough Rider, the unstoppable one, the Hilux. So I'm cutting even more features than you, and I'm going balls to the wall, beat the shit out of it, please. Do oil changes whenever you fucking want. Toyota Hilux pickup, dude. Come on. That's got to represent Toyota better than anything, because I think if you even folks like you said that aren't car people, you go, what is the number one quality about a Toyota product? What do they say every time? Reliability. Without fail.
I saw Clarkson rolling into the ocean and then dynamite one off a tower.
Dude, yeah, they dropped it. Fucking, yeah.
So it's like that's what people think about,
Yeah, dropped it multiple times. That thing, you can't kill it. It's absolutely representative of the brand and reliability, and that's going to be, like I said, that Teddy Roosevelt personality. He's just been through everything, can't die.
Yep,
won't die,
can't stop, won't stop.
That's it. Rough Riders,
ride or die.
Yeah, Toyota Hilux representing Toyota.
I'm for it. I'm here for that. Are there, how many seats are left in this?
I don't know. It's how far down the rabbit hole you want to go.
You want to do another one? You're gonna go Coda electric vehicle? Like, what do you want
to how about Subaru? We skipped the odd the once odd automaker, Subaru.
Yeah, less odd today.
Not odd at all.
You know who you know who was sort of okay. We don't think about a lot of cars made in Australia, but I would say the nation of Australia in the 1980s and 90s,
crikey,
they had at least a cultural delegate in a one Paul Hogan.
You call that a boxer engine? I don't know. I sounded more like like Kennedy.
Well, yeah.
Exactly. Ask what your boxer engine can do for you.
I just imagine him going, "You call that a boxer engine?" And he just spreads it. Yeah. You call that a box? And he just spreads his legs.
Crikey, you call that a head gasket?
Yes. Oh man, we are getting off the rails. Yeah, right.
Put another head gasket on it.
Part of your head gasket fell off, sir. Yeah.
A Subaru drank my coolant.
The dingo stole my baby. The
interview
original Outback. So call it the 1996 Subaru Legacy Outback.
Yeah. Okay, Frank, real quick. Everybody trashes on Pontiac for plastic cladding. How much fucking cladding is on those original Outbacks? It's
definitely less. It's less. It's less. The original one was a lot of paint, two-tone paint and tape stripe, and then the fender flares.
It's all plastic.
Were there?
It's all plastic.
There's a lot of paint, bro.
Fair enough. Subaru. I go again. I got to stick to rally. I'm not going to say the STI though. I'm going to go the 22B, which I think is one of the most iconic flat engine powered all-wheel drive monsters. I think those cars are so cool, and there's like so many special versions of it too. And I just think that car, the GC Impreza, has aged so well. I mean, I look how expensive those RSs are from like the late 90s, early 2000s, and they're unmitigated not great from the fucking factory. Like, there's nothing super redeeming about that motor. Like, to be honest,
no, it's torquey for what it is.
It's a 2.5. I mean,
yeah, because it's what, cool. It's like 165 horsepower and like 150 pound-feet of torque or something.
Like absolutely middle of the road for that displacement. But
yeah, they're pretty light. But like, yeah, it's ultimately
it looks good. It looks so good.
It looks good.
Yeah,
just like when you think a production car with gold wheels, I mean, that's what my head jumps to, is that generation.
Yeah,
the 2.5 RSs. So yeah, I we're kind of in the same ballpark a little bit. I took more of the People's Mobile, which is more representative of Subaru today.
Yeah, for sure.
But versus you went more like leaning on the race heritage and past, which that some of that is still around, but it's not what it once was.
It isn't. The STI is gone. The WRX is like whatever.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
What a shame! Like, how fun would it be to like? And by all accounts, the new WRX drives pretty decently.
It's
compared to the previous ones. It's like, yeah, they'll run out of brakes and they're kind of soft, but like
the RP, the like red line manual, like 6,500 or less or something. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like maybe 7.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
It's less than 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know. It's They should be. We need a new delegate, a new modern, real life IRL delegate. Get us back on the path to greatness. Make Subaru great again.
Oh, that'd be great.
Massa? No.
Bring back
Miska.
bring back a sporty wagon, a rally inspired Subaru wagon. Like make the new STI a fucking wagon. Do something silly that will get everybody back on board, right?
Yep. I don't know. They've got those like lava taillights or whatever those are called. I don't remember what those are called. The new ones. Ooh, spicy.
Wow.
Ooh, that makes all the difference.
Yeah, you got us, buddy. No. Dear Sue.
Anywho,
I think this is fun. I'm picturing this room, this assembly, this gathering of cars we named. What a cool group. Like if it was a car show and we walked into a parking lot with all the cars we just named, it would be absolutely fantastic.
I just had a minor epiphany, and maybe if I find time and energy between now and when this episode goes live, I can like get mildly decent at using like Mid-Journey or one of those. Not the 8-ball. It is kind of like
I've got an 8-ball out. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I was saying, do like Mid-Journey or one of the AI things and just have it make like automotive manufacturers as people and just see what it spits up. And that could be our delegate group. And I'm assuming your question is, will Frank get off his ass and actually do this? And that's what the 8-ball is going to say. All signs point to no.
Dear 8-ball, Frank is talking a lot of game right now. Is he actually going to take the time to do this? Better not tell you now.
Oh,
it's covering for you, dude.
Tease.
The 8-ball has spoken, my friends.
Oh boy.
8-ball doesn't lie. We've already proven that. I think it's time, guys, to move on to a little section of the podcast we call... What's the clever name again? Oh, yeah, we don't have a clever name. It's called the Automotive Print Ad Quiz Game Show. In this case, I'll be reading a print ad with a vehicle in it from the 80s, 90s, mid-2000s. I'm going to omit anything that gives it away. Frank today is our lucky contestant. It's usually one of us. And he has 3 guesses to figure out what the fuck car I'm trying to talk about, because honestly, it is a mystery with these ads. Every time he fails, I do get to give him a hint, or he can ask specifically for a hint. He has 10 minutes on the clock when I figure out the ad. Frank.
You're close because you're inverted, my friend. I'm asking you. I'm gonna ask all of this to you, my friend.
I'm on no sleep, guys. It's been a rough week, but I am ready. And like I said,
Italian cocaine.
Reverse all those roles. But let's hear it, Frank, please. He's probably gonna hit me with something hard, guys. So thoughts and prayers. Frank, what do you got for me today? Let me shut Flappy.
Okay. We have here. It's kind of an awkward layout. I can't tell if it's a 1-pager or a 2-pager. Probably 2-pager.
Okay.
It's got 2 versions of the vehicle. They're kind of like side by side, like driver's door to driver's door. So you get to see the rear quarter of one,
he's gesturing
and the front quarter of the other.
A scissors motion for you guys.
Scissor me timbers.
Gotcha.
And so it shows 2 versions of the car, right? You see the driver's rear quarter on one, and then the passenger front corner on the other.
Trying to visualize this. Yeah.
It says the name of at the top of the vehicle. And then it says, out to set a new world's record for fun. Which, again, back to the things that are completely unquantifiable in the proclamations of these manufacturers. This manufacturer is now setting the world record for fun.
And like all these ads from this period, it's probably not based in reality. It's probably not even a fun.
This is going to be up for you to decide, my friend.
Yeah. Blank
turbo is a kick. And the only way to find out just how big is to get behind the wheel. Buckle yourself into blank hatchback and sedan shown. Slip off its soft. I can't talk today. Holy smokes.
It was like soft direction.
Well, sort of. That's kind of how this reads. So bear with me. Slip its new soft black shifter into the first of 4 gears with the help of its improved hydraulic clutch. Then put your best foot forward and feel the surge of Blank's standard 1.8 overhead cam turbocharged 4-cylinder engine as it delivers 150 turbocharged horsepower at 5,600 RPM. Straighten out the curves with blank turbo's standard WS6 performance handling package, complete with special front and rear springs and shocks, power steering, 14-inch high-tech cast aluminum wheels, and Goodyear Eagle GT radials, shown for quick response and impressive roadability. Blank turbo, high-spirited, blank, blank, blank. That's the ad, my friend.
This is tough, dude.
Some good hints in there, but yes, I this is.
Do you got the timer going here?
We're going. We're moving.
All right. 1.8 turbo, hatchback and sedan.
And sedan.
The name of the car ends in turbo.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive, did it? I didn't pick up on the drive.
It does not.
I didn't think I did.
Slip its new soft black shifter into the first of 4 gears.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard on a car. That is actually probably the strangest line we've said so far. We've said some weird ones.
I don't know. Usually woman handled is pretty good, but yeah.
So you said 150 horsepower though.
150 turbocharged horsepower at 5,600 RPM.
That's a lot of power, and that's pretty high up. Boy, this thing reads like a sedan though, and a wagon and a hatch. So a 4-door, and the hatch might be a 4-door, but probably the hatch is a 2, I would assume.
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say.
The image shows, but it doesn't say.
Okay. Wow. This is tough. This is a little tough. That horsepower is interesting. I think it sounds to me like I want to say front wheel drive because it is a hatch sedan combo, and I think that's usually what you get with that, unless it's a really weird. No, it's not going to be rear wheel drive. This is not going to be a rear wheel drive car. Frank, this is tough. This is really tough. The way it reads, I want to say late 80s. I'm feeling so. But 150 horsepower. 1.8 is weird. I automatically go to like Volkswagen, but no, there would be no car that's also a sedan and a hatch. So that's where I'm like getting tripped up right now as I'm
Sure.
thinking. And I thought like Dodge Colt Turbo, but that was a 1.6, I believe. Or it could be wrong, but I think that's a 1.6. And it definitely made 100. It definitely made 105, not 150 horsepower. So yes, my friend, this is 1.8 turbo. Why am I blanking on 1.8 turbos? This is tough. This is tough, Frank. I'm also frazzled in my brain. I also did the introduction to the show like I was the contestant, or you were the contestant. So this is tricky. Dude, what is this going to be? It's going to be some fucking piece of shit.
Maybe.
Sedan and hatch. Fuck. I'm getting like images in my head. I don't think this is a Chevy.
He's hallucinating, gentlemen.
I don't think it's a Chevy
Ladies and
Sprint
gentlemen.
Turbo. It's got too much power. It's got way too much power. 150. I'm thinking of a Chrysler product, and I can't think of a Chrysler with a 1.8 turbo. They love that 2.2. That 2.2 was in everything if we're talking during that time period.
Right. Yeah.
Or the 1.6 for the lesser Colts and stuff. But
right.
1.8. Nothing from Europe would be a sedan and hatchback with the same name. I don't think they would do that. This is tough, Frank. I don't even know what to do on this one. I might.
Let me read over two things in here that might help you out a little bit. This is not a hint
part
because
about
it's
the
already
black shifter again.
Yes, I'll just repeat that over and over until completion. Basically, so I will actually slip its new soft black shifter into the first of 4 gears.
4 gears, that's right.
So it's a 4-speed, so that should help you out with the age of this.
We're actually going mid-80s or older.
The other thing I would say is straighten out the curves with blank turbo's standard WS6 performance handling package.
Yeah,
complete
so
with special front and rear springs.
It's clearly not a Firebird WS6.
That'd be sick though.
I mean, how fucking cool would that?
What a turbo Firebird.
They would, and also like no Firebird ever had a 1.8 liter engine.
Iron Duke.
Iron
You
Duke.
get an Iron Duke though.
Not that was a.
It wasn't a 1.8. It wasn't
okay. Yeah, it was 2.7.
5.
Because I think of WS6 like the Firebird package, right? That's what I think. And so the old, I'm not getting the old WS6. I'm not putting it in my head. Boy, this sounds. It's got to be domestic, but what is it?
You've got just under 5 minutes left.
Okay, let's just throw something out there. It's not going to be. Is it? Is this like a? Is this in a Suzu Impulse? Final answer.
I like the guess.
Or a Piazza, as it is in Japan.
It is not a Piazza or an Impulse.
Okay.
Or a Geostorm of some sort. Let me unblank one piece of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was at the end, I almost read something and I censored it last second. And that was blank turbo, high spirited blank driving excitement.
So this is a Pontiac. Boy, what did they make that was a turbo though? He came at me, folks, with another Pontiac from the mid 80s. We already did Tempest, but I don't think it's a turbo. Not a Tempest. Yeah. Oh God, I'm fucked. So it's a Pontiac. What was a? Because we did the Tempest Le Mans, but this isn't it, obviously, right? Because we already did that one. You better not be hitting me with Pontiac Tempest Le Mans.
Did they have? Was there a turbo Pontiac Tempest?
I don't know. Maybe
because the Pontiac Tempest, the Pontiac Le Mans, was it even Tempest Le Mans or just Le Mans?
I don't know. I think it was.
It's not that.
That's a good question. Let's go with. God, what could this be? Could this be a Pontiac Sunbird? Final answer.
Hold on, where'd my ad go? Oh God, I was looking up stats on the Le Mans.
The Sunbird, if you will.
Pontiac Sunbird SE Turbo.
Shut up.
Is what it is.
Yes.
It is a Pontiac Sunbird SE Turbo.
I looked at, like, it wasn't the turbo one, but I looked at a really clean manual one once. I just didn't pull the trigger. They got cool taillights. It was the sedan too, which was neat because I think the sedan was rarer for some reason.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I honestly, I have no clue production numbers on these cars. I do know they made like a GT version, and it probably came with like an extra half of a horsepower or something. So maybe you got like 155 or something instead of 150.
That's a lot of power, and we're talking.
I know.
We got to be talking. Oh, I got to guess the year 1983, 1985. Okay, so I was right, mid 80s. When
4-speed in 1985 is kind of wild to think about.
But that power is wild.
Pontiac Excitement 85.
Let's see here. You know that Pontiac. I was still stunned when you said it's driving excitement. I'm like, I'm fucked.
I thought that the WS6 would have nailed it down to Pontiac, and you were there. You were sniffing at it,
right?
But because it's almost like the, like Z51 or something. It's like a performance package that they recycle across brands and stuff sometimes.
Sure,
like Chevy does.
Dude, how did I fucking get that? I am a weirdo with these shitbox cars, though, because that's exactly a shitbox if I do find a clean one I buy. And the Sunbird was ultimately replaced by the Sunfire. I think there was a little gap in between, because it was always a little smaller than like when the Grand Ams and stuff rolled out. It was always
right, because this was the J body, I believe.
It wasn't a heavy car. It was like a 2,800 pound car, which is pretty light. Yeah. So
150 was probably decent. I don't know anyone that can has any recollection of what it's like to drive one of these. So who knows? And I'm sure the later ones you probably got 5 speeds and stuff. But
I know, but that power output seems a little outrageous, truthfully.
Right. It's probably like super laggy and peaky and shitty. So it's like it's almost unusable.
You know what?
Horsepower.
4 speeds with a turbo like that, you get a lot more time and boost than you think. right? Because it's
Maybe, but like I don't know.
or a lot of time before boost, depending on when it kicks in at 4,000 RPM. But a 1.8 turbo that makes 150, weren't the original like 1.8 Volkswagen turbos like 155?
I think there was a lower, like a lower spec
Shit, they were
one
putting those
that
in
wasn't
the
like
late
180.
90, like late 90s Audi A4s had that 1.8 that made 155. I think it was.
I think the A4s always got the juicier one that was like good for 180,
Okay.
and then like the base turbo Beetles and stuff got the 155 horsepower. Maybe not though. Maybe the earlier ones.
Yeah, I'm talking like a yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
and then
know.
the Sunbirds, I think they were weird because I want to say like they were originally called like the J2000, and then they're like that's the world's stupidest name.
Yeah.
And so they changed it to the Sunbird, but in between, I think there was a year or two where they called it like it was like the J2000, then it was like the J2000 Sunbird, and then it was just the Sunbird, and then it became the Sunfire. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, is there a good like? Can you get like a dope coupe version? I don't know. Like that's
Maybe.
actually interesting with that turbo motor.
I mean, that's pretty. I can't believe I pulled that out of my ass, to tell you the truth, Frank.
Well, good job. You done well.
Oh, thank you. That was a tough one, man. That was a stumper. I'd give that a 4 out of 5. I mean, to
Yeah.
anyone that wasn't stupid like me, they probably would have not come up with that. Sunbirds are pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know why I was stuck on Tempest Le Mans. I think they had a 1.8. I think that's why I kept
I
going
think it was
back to them.
1.8. Maybe it was a 2 liter. I don't remember, but it was like, yeah, it was. I mean, that was a
Little
like
shit
a
hatchback.
Daewoo or something, right?
Yeah, but it was like a hatchback, and I kind of remember that Tempest might have been another market where it got attached to a little small sedan.
Right.
Because we don't do that a lot in the States. Like, there's not a lot of examples, right? Where it's like a
Mhm.
sedan or a hatchback. So,
Interesting.
except for the
Well, all
Chevy
right.
Cruze, baby.
Let's buy ourselves a Sunbird, and
Dude, if you had to buy a Chevy Cruze, tell me that the Chevy Cruze manual diesel wouldn't be the one you pick.
that's the one. It's probably
The only one that's worth.
frighteningly unreliable, and parts are probably that completely don't exist.
Yeah, but a regular Cruze, you're buying a transmission, automatic transmission every like 5 months. Why not just go diesel and get a manual?
Cruising for a bruising.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely no Dieselgate shit going on there. Looking at you, Volkswagen, Dodge
Right.
Cummins. But dude, thanks, man. That's a good one. We haven't done a classic. You tried to come at me like I came at you with the GTP. But just think though, like, fuck, we thought the GTP was amazing at 210 out of a big displacement V6. This had 150 like a decade before.
And you know, somebody somewhere there's like a weird collection of like 7 people on a old like shitty message board forum somewhere that is still like deep in the woods on like modding these cars and probably just like super ridiculous peaky boosting. Yeah, they're like concrete filling blocks and stuff to make them stronger, and like they're just ludicrous.
Waiting for that new owner to get on there and ask a basic question, and someone fucking says search button, every fucking forum. Okay, Sunbird guys, I'm out.
Our big Sunbirds after us.
Sunbird energy. Yeah.
How about this? I've done nothing as far as working on cars still. So how about you, sir? That
Let me break out the notepad here. I think I referenced. Oh yeah, the interior of the TSX. So last week I finished the exterior, which took a lot of work. The interior didn't need a lot. This car is pretty much all together. It was the leather's in great shape, and like I think we talked about it last week or like the other week. The perforated leather in these cars, if you will ever allow that leather to dry out, perforated leather does this horrible spider web thing, and the seats just disintegrate.
Just turns into dust.
It's fucking wild. And not even high mileage. It's just about taking care of the leather. So I did a huge like 3-step treatment where I kind of like first I treat it with leather cleaner and get all the like oils and shit out of the seat. And it wasn't that bad, obviously, because the seats are already great. And then I condition them with, I do a couple products. One's like a conditioner and then like a shiner to kind of reflect sunlight. Not so it's insanely like Armor All shiny, but it doesn't have any residue.
Right.
But at least the leather's soft to the touch and is protected, has a UV protectant on it, which is huge. The dash is great. I kept that kind of nice and looking great. Deep clean the carpets, which weren't that bad. I take a steam cleaner to all my interiors. It still has the original carpets in there, or like carpet mats, which I love. I love when I get a car. You know what I'm saying though?
They're
Because
super
it's
nice.
so hard to find, right? If you don't
Yep.
have the original carpets, and most of them fall apart. Like some were just shitty. Like I know the Mini Cooper ones are rough. The ones in the Galants, the Galant ones, like they look cool if you don't move them, but if you pick it up, like it just disintegrates into
Turns into
like
ash.
yeah. And when you're driving with the windows down, it's all in your fucking eyes. But just the floor mats are good, and everything else in the car is original. Like original, like
How cool.
all the electronics work, everything works, which is amazing. But the only thing that doesn't work on that car interior wise, speaking of all the interior stuff I need to fix, it's a navigation option car, so it has the nav screen with the climate control built in, but the screen isn't working correctly. It has like a weird like display, so I bought another one used from the same year, tested working for like $200.
That's
So
not
it's
bad.
got, I'm going to replace the whole thing. And
So can you not use climate control right now until you replace
No,
that?
you can. So they have like a separate window, because this was the age 2008 when they had like little sub windows and stuff. So there's still a little window where you can have your temp stuff above.
Okay.
So I can't change where it goes per se. I can always put defrost on and vent, but I can't like do all the fine tuning. But I can right now do that, and the radio works enough. But I'll just replace that unit, which means just pulling some trim out, and that sucks.
Cool.
But able to source one. Yeah, and that's it though. I mean, at 320,000 miles, I guess things like that happen.
Yeah, that's part of the deal.
But dude, it's again like I gotta show you this car, dude. You're not gonna believe it. There's like you're gonna think I added a 0 to the mileage. It's just in incredible shape, and I've been driving it around, and it's so good. Like there isn't even a scratch on the plastic for the gauge cluster. Like it's perfectly clear, illuminated gauges. All the lights work. It's fucking Honda, baby. But yeah, loving this car, dude.
It's amazing what a little bit of care and maintenance will do. You know.
Yeah, with a K series engine, good 6-speed manual gearbox, just.
I mean, it's no Sunbird, but you know what is.
Oh fuck, dude! I wish I had a 1.8 turbo Sunbird.
Man, listeners, if you're out there and you come across an immaculate turbo J body Sunbird, like
you know me, I'll take a mediocre one. I'll fix that fucking bad boy right up.
This is what we should do.
I'll put 50 hours into it to sell it for $2,500
for a loss. Yeah, it'd be great.
Dude, exactly.
Yes.
Let's take us home. So guys, again, thank you for joining us. Obviously, we needed to talk about the Automotive UN. No one's done it, so we were the first.
Yeah, are we the founding members?
We are
the Automotive UN.
We've made it. Frank swore that he's going to make a AI generated image of our conversations. We'll see how that pans out.
Oh yeah, don't let me forget that. Like text me a reminder at like 4 a.m.
I will. Yeah, right before our next podcast. But yeah, dude, we love doing this, Frank, and I know I'm speaking for both of us. We do this even if we didn't have microphones turned on. We just can't stop talking about stupid car stuff to each other, and we just wanted to broadcast it to the world. And guys, we do mean it. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thanks.
There's so many like higher quality programs, or your loved ones. I don't know, things you could do that add value to your life that you could be doing.
Genitorture, like anything is a better use of your time. Yeah.
But we do appreciate,
especially if you like film it and monetize it. So
absolutely, you should OnlyFans that. But yeah, dude, just listening wherever you can listen to another Pointless Automotive podcast, APA podcast. Leave a review. We like that. Like 5 stars, 4 stars, 1 stars.
Yeah. -12 doesn't matter.
Yeah. Shoot from the heart or your balls or wherever you want to shoot from, and just let us know how you feel. Instagram is there. God, we're horrible about it. Check out our YouTube though, because guys, I really dump a few hours every week.
Yeah, that's this guy.
Yeah, putting a good YouTube version of this podcast out there. You can see us. I try to put some graphics on the screen, make it a little fun. But definitely check out our YouTube. Subscribe. Again, free all month. I think, Frank, we got that excited.
Right. Maybe next month. We'll see if we can keep stretching this thing.
If you donate a Sunbird to us, like we'll give you full access forever. Free.
Sunbird, anything quad 4 powered.
Now you're talking. Quad 4 powered.
Escort EXP. There's a lot of possible good fits here. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't follow me anywhere. I'm not important. Chadwick, do you want people to stalk you or no?
How about this? If you want high quality photography, automotive themed, you're going to go ahead and find the Photographer's Garage. High presence on Instagram. Some of the best car photos you've ever seen. Really cool shit rolling around. Also,
a likely story.
A YouTube version of that. So again, the Photographer's Garage.
Don't do that.
Check it out.
And then this guy over here, he's got a shirt on for once, a sweatshirt, if you will, and that's got his stuff on it. That's Auto Obsessive Garage, where he finds dumpster fires in the form of interesting, somewhat neglected vehicles and unneglects and unfires them for your watching and reviewing enjoyment. So do that. We'll see you here again at another Pointless Automotive podcast. Yeah, until then, keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep doing this, and we'll see you somewhere in between.
Yeah, we love you guys. Take care as always.
Goodbye. Bye.